Stephanie, would you mind telling me exactly what you're doing with my husband?
Excuse me? Oh, hello there, Angie. What am I doing with your husband? I'm not sure what you mean.
I mean, what are you doing in my house with my husband Steve at this very moment?
Uh-oh. I guess you're home already, huh?
Yes, I finished my work a lot sooner than I thought I would, so I left work about an hour earlier than usual, and I just got home.
Uh-oh. Well, looks like we're busted.
You don't seem to be very worried about being caught like this.
Well, I guess you could say that I'm a little surprised, but just so you know, Steve and I are super duper deeply in love with each other. You know what he told me just a few minutes ago? That he's way happier with a beautiful woman like me than an old ugly hag like you. And besides, I always knew that if I got caught, I could just divorce my husband and poof, problem solved.
Do you really think you can get away with what you're doing that easily?
Of course I do. Steve already said that he'd pay for my lawyer and any damages I had to pay to my husband for cheating on him.
Ah, I see. So that's why you seem so flippant right now. I guess that would make sense. Steve's family is pretty wealthy after all.
I know, right? And this gorgeous house that me and Steve are going to live in together is his, which means it's mine too now.
Well, yeah, it was his family's house.
And now it's gonna be our family's house.
Not that I care, but how long are you planning to stay in there?
Uh-oh, are you gonna try to kick me out now? You can be patient and wait for us to be done, okay? You came home before we were finished.
Aren't you forgetting something? It's summer vacation. School is out right now.
Well, yeah, but so what?
So our daughter, who was playing at her friend's house today, is going to be coming home any moment now, and I am not about to allow my daughter to see her own father messing around with the mother of one of her classmates. Do I make myself clear?
Oh man, what a spoil sport.
Are you dressed right now?
Yeah, I got it. Don't rush me. Hey, wait a minute. I'm looking all around the room, but I can't find Steve's or my clothes anywhere.
Sorry about that. I found your clothes strewn about the living room floor, so I took the liberty of throwing them out into the yard.
You what? What were you thinking?
I was thinking that I didn't want you running away from me.
You are super bitter about this, huh? Fine, I won't run away. I'm just gonna go home, so hurry up and give me my clothes back.
Well, I'm terribly sorry to tell you, but that's not gonna happen.
Huh? What is your problem? Why not?
I've known about your relationship with my husband for a little over half a year now.
Wait, you knew? Then, wait a minute, just a little bit ago you were acting like you didn't know. You asked me what I was doing with your husband, but you knew? What was that all about?
Oh, that? Oh, that was just me buying time and stringing you along while I waited for everyone to arrive.
Everyone? Who's everyone?
Everyone. Steve's parents and your parents are with me, and we're about to come inside.
What?
If you don't mind, could you at least cover yourself up with a blanket or towel? And not my good blankets, please.
What is going on, Angie? Thanks a lot, Angie. I am in a world of trouble now, thanks to you.
Wow, I'm surprised you texted me so soon.
Oh yeah? And what about you? Are you already at your parents' house or whatever?
Yeah, I just got to my folks' house with my daughter a little bit ago.
Well, good for you. While everyone was tearing into Steve and me, you were just putzing around packing up your suitcase. Man, that was some tribunal. They were really ticked at us. But it was all worth it to watch your miserable self walking out of our beautiful mansion, sad and alone. And since the dust is settled, I'm already back in our mansion enjoying some sweetie, lovey-dovey time with my Steve. There's no one to get between us anymore, so we can do anything and everything we want, whenever we want. This is the best.
You seem to be pretty happy with yourself right now, but did you really think that this was all over already?
Do we really need to go through this again? I just told you. Steve is going to pay me for my lawyer and whatever damages I have to pay you, okay? What is there for me to be worried about? Oh, Steve told me to tell you that he'll just wire a lump sum payment to your account whenever our lawyers come to a settlement.
I was already going to demand that, so he's not going to be able to appear to come out on top of this by pretending he offered to do it beforehand.
What? Oh my God, you are such a bitter old hag. Man, I am so happy I'm not ugly and alone like you.
Keep it coming, Stephanie. Say whatever you'd like to me. Nothing you can say will hurt me.
Oh, we'll see about that. I am about to do all the things for my Steve that you never did for him.
Have fun.
Oh, trust me, we're gonna have lots of fun. Way more fun than he ever had with you. And we're gonna do it in your house, on your bed. Oops, it's not your house anymore, is it?
Oh, good gracious. I'm so very, very sad. So very sad. Absolutely devastated. How will I recover?
I'm more worried about how I'm gonna recover after tonight with Steve. Good morning! Did you sleep well? I didn't. I've got more great news for you. I'm pregnant, and it's Steve's baby.
Wow, that certainly is an incredible thing.
Right? I was feeling kind of sick this morning, and I thought maybe it was because of our fun last night, but I got a test, and it was positive. It's almost scary how this is going exactly like I planned it.
Planned?
Yep. It was my plan all along to get pregnant with Steve's baby so I could get my hands on this fabulous house and all of Steve's money. Now all that's left is for you to divorce Steve and I'll get everything I wanted. And now your part in my little plan is finished, so you can go ahead and just disappear forever.
I see. Well, thanks for that, Stephanie. Now I can finally get divorced.
Huh?
Ugh, I have been so sick and tired of that pathetic loser for so long. You can have him. Oh, and by the way, you should hurry up and get ready to get out of that house as soon as possible.
What are you talking about? I'm not leaving. Why would I leave? This luxurious mansion is going to be our little love nest now. I know you're bitter and everything, but seriously, you're getting to be just plain pathetic. Angie, what's going on here? I just got told that we have to be out of this house by tomorrow. Did you know something about this? What did you do, Angie?
Didn't you know? That house is going to be put up for sale.
The house is getting sold? But why? Tell me what you did right now.
Calm down, Stephanie. I didn't do anything.
I don't believe you. But none of this makes sense. The house belongs to Steve, doesn't it? How could someone just put his house up for sale without permission? You'd better start explaining what the hell is going on here and fast.
First of all, you're wrong about one thing. That house isn't Steve's.
What?
Actually, that's Steve's grandfather's house. His name is on the title and everything.
Wait, his grandpa?
Yeah, his grandparents are currently living in their vacation house in Florida, where they moved after he retired about 20 years ago. He was worried the house would start to fall apart if it was left unoccupied, so he allowed us to live there on the condition that we would make sure it was well taken care of.
Then you lied to me. You told me it was Steve's house.
Scroll up, Stephanie. I said no such thing. I told you it was his family's house. I never said it was Steve's house.
Oh.
You see, it's not my fault that you interpreted what I said incorrectly.
I don't believe this.
It seems like they already have a buyer lined up, and they're planning to bring in the construction crew to start on some renovations in 2 days.
2 days?
Yep. And if you're still there, that's going to cause a lot of trouble for the real estate company and the workers. So I would recommend you getting your stuff out of there as soon as possible.
This is the worst. I have never been so miserable in my entire life. Why is this happening to me? I don't deserve any of this.
Ugh, what do you want now, Stephanie? Our divorce has already been finalized, and I already got my lump sum payments for child support and your affair, so I have no more reason or desire to speak to either of you ever again.
We packed up our stuff and got out of our house, but we had nowhere else to go, so we went over to Steve's parents' house, and they wouldn't let us in.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. They made it pretty clear that they never want to see Steve or you ever again.
But it gets worse. Then we tried going to my parents' house, and they wouldn't let us stay with them either.
You probably should have seen that coming too, after, well, everything that you did.
After that, we only had one more hope. We tried going to Steve's grandpa's place down in Florida. After all, I'm absolutely gorgeous, and I'm pregnant with his grandchild, so I figured that he would have to help us out. But when we said who we were on the intercom, he ignored us, locked the gate, and shut all the blinds on his house.
Well, Steve's grandpa was in the Marines, and you know their motto? Always faithful? It doesn't surprise me that he'd shut you out after both of you betrayed your families, even if you are beautiful and pregnant with his great-grandchild.
Why? Why is everyone turning their backs on me? Why are they all taking your side? I'm beautiful and stylish. You're ugly and you don't even get your nails done. I should be the one with a rich husband, not you.
What?
I mean, just think about it. Who would a wealthy and a powerful executive want on their arm at a party? Me or you? The choice is obvious. I even got my hair done, just like those women on Real Housewives.
Wait a minute.
Whatever, screw all of them. I'll just have Steve buy a luxury penthouse suite for me. That will show them who's boss. I'll look out the window of my luxurious apartment with a glass of expensive wine in my hand and laugh at all the pathetic little people down below.
Stephanie, Steve's not an executive. He's a mid-level employee.
What?
He's not the company president.
Why not? He's the former president's son, isn't he? Who else would they give the job to?
Well, yeah, our company has a pretty strict meritocratic system in place. They don't allow nepotism. By the way, I'm actually the head of the department Steve was working in.
You?
But in any case, it came out that he'd been messing around with his mistress while he was supposed to be working remotely, so he got fired the other day. Didn't you notice I said the department he was working for in past tense? I thought it was obvious.
He got fired? And what's this about a mistress? He told me I was the only one for him, and now I hear he's messing around with another woman?
No, Stephanie, that's not what I meant. You were the mistress who he got fired over.
Me?
Well, duh. Think about how often the two of you have been seeing each other these last several months. Don't you think it's odd that he could spend so much time with you during the day? He was on the clock the whole time.
So, you're saying that I...
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Your affair with Steve is the reason he's now unemployed. Though to be fair, Steve is an adult and should know better than to fool around with his mistress while he's on the clock. Actually, he should just plain know better than to have a mistress, period, but that's another story.
No way.
And another thing. His little stunt where he agreed to pay for the affair and child support in one lump sum payment. Well, thanks to that, his savings have been completely wiped out. And seeing as though his parents are in the process of writing him out of their will, I think you'd better abandon any hopes of accompanying Steve to any high-class parties as a trophy wife for the foreseeable future.
Oh my God! There's no point in even being with him anymore. I'll just have to get back together with my ex-husband.
Do you actually think he'll take you back?
Why wouldn't he?
You are currently pregnant with the child of the man you were having an affair with. What self-respecting man would ever take back someone like you? Seriously, get real. Oh, your other children are all staying with your husband too, and it seems like none of them want anything to do with you anymore.
This can't be happening. I had the perfect plan. Everything was going right. I was supposed to get the pampered life. I deserve the pampered life.
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to take a shower. Here's what happened to the two of them after they got kicked out of their house. In their search for a new place to live, they first went to Steve's parents and then to Stephanie's parents and got turned down by both. After that, they tried going all the way to Florida to beg Steve's grandpa for help, again, unsuccessfully. That's a cross-country trip, so I have no doubt that between travel expenses, food, and lodging, they must have spent around $1,000 to get there. Neither of them have jobs. What were they thinking, spending that much? Unbelievable. After that, they had no choice but to lower their standard of living and move into an old, run-down apartment downtown. Apparently, there are more rats living there than people. Oof, yikes. Now, while both of their parents have officially cut them out of their lives, they're apparently still keeping an eye on them. After all, this isn't just about the two of them anymore. There's also their baby to be worried about. My understanding is that their parents will ensure that the baby, who is the only innocent party, will be taken care of, even if that means eventually having to remove the baby from Steve and Stephanie's custody.